Today we're going to be looking at this, the nylon Rock Buggy chassis from Injora for the SCX24. Stay tuned. Hey folks, and welcome back to the channel. So it's been a very long time since I put out a video, and apologies for that. If you are still around and you're still a subscriber, thank you, I appreciate it. It's going to be like this for a while, I'm afraid. Videos coming and going here and there. Got loads of stuff to do on the house, loads of stuff to do at home, really busy at work. But you don't want to hear about that. What you want to hear about is this. So, what are you getting? What are you getting in your Injora Rock Buggy pack? Rock Buggy pack. Rock Buggy pack. Rock Buddy, maybe. I don't know. Maybe that's a nice name for it. So effectively, you're getting this nylon tube chassis, the body panels, and you're getting an LED light. This light bar on the front is great. It's really bright. Let's switch that on. I do love LEDs, and I think Rock Buggies particularly need a light bar on them. So there we go. Turn that off so it's not dazzling the camera. You know, the nylon cage is stiff enough, I think. It has got some flex in it. That means it's hopefully going to be durable, and you know, I've knocked it off the bench a couple of times and it hasn't suffered any damage so far. You get obviously the buggy, you're getting this fake interior, this sort of basic interior, which they didn't put any stickers with, which is a shame. It would have been nice to some stickers in there, but you know, you paid $25 for this. Not a lot of money really. You get your battery strap. There's a battery tray here. As you can see, I've got the battery in there, but it doesn't quite fit because I used non-standard batteries. Body panels, I went for the clear body panels because I thought it'd be nice to paint them. Fancy doing a bit of a fancy paint job, but unfortunately these are also nylon rather than Lexan. So all of my Lexan paints are not probably going to work very well on there. As you can see, it's not super clear, and there isn't a protective film on there somewhere. I have tried. So with it being not very clear, I don't know how that's going to paint up. I have some paint markers that I'm going to try and do some stuff with, so we'll see if that works. But otherwise, I'm just going to have to paint the outside, which is fine. It just means it'll probably be a little bit less intricate. It fits on the standard, like I said before, I think, C10 links, so the geometry at the minute is pretty much the same as the C10 or the JLU SCX24 or the Bronco, I think. A lot of people are putting deadbolt rear links on just to extend that wheelbase a little bit by about 10 mil at the back. I'll see how it goes. I'm quite happy with it at the minute. I think it looks about right at the moment. I think they look a little bit odd with the wheels out the back. But I think that's generally to try and counter some of the weight from the battery. Everything slotted in really nicely. I have an upgraded motor in mine, the Injora 050 motor that you can see in there. That is bigger than the standard motor that you would get on a normal SCX24, but that fits just as well as it fits on any other chassis I've seen. It does impact slightly these upper links as it did before. No change there, unfortunately. The shocks I'm using are these telescoping shocks, and they are terrible, so I will be replacing those in the next few days, hopefully. I put those on as a bit of an experiment. They were super cheap, but they're just not for me. There's too much articulation in it, and they tend to lock up. Not lock up, but as you can see, I mean, if you want a high lift, then fine, but I don't. So yeah, they don't do that so much when you're driving it, obviously, because that's partly to do with the grip on the tyres. So the one thing that nearly put me off buying this, and in fact it did put me off buying it originally, because I just couldn't be bothered with all the hassle of it, having spent lots of time getting all my electronics in the right place previously on a previous build. And that was the placement of the ESC. All of the review videos that I saw from when this thing first came out, in fairness, One of the complaints was that there were no instructions for it, which, you know, it doesn't take long to figure that out, but it's a valid complaint. I think, you know, a simple instruction sheet is fine. And the other one, or the other main complaint, was that it was really difficult to fit the electronics in there. People were putting them in the battery tray, people were sticking them under the roof, decasing their ESC and all sorts of stuff. But actually, as it turns out, none of that's necessary. Now, what Injora have finally done is released a little instruction sheet. So that comes with the chassis kit when it arrives. And I'll show you a little bit of footage somewhere of me unboxing this. Unpackaging this, sorry. In that instruction list, I think, or on the website, I can't remember quite which now, it does suggest that the electronics should go under the bonnet or hood, depending on where you are. And indeed, that's exactly where mine are. And as you can see, hopefully you can see, there is plenty of space for that under there. Now it is a little bit fiddly to get it in there in the first place. You do have to kind of think about the order in which you build this thing, but actually it's not difficult in the grand scheme of things. It fits in there nicely. The on-off switch is super accessible, which is great. Even without these huge, great long shocks, you can still get in there to turn it on and off. There's plenty of space. There's plenty of clearance for the servo, as you can see. There's no issues there with the servo. In fact, you can see how much. Can you see how much? Just about. If you look down here, that's how much clearance there is in there. There's a big amount of daylight in there, which is great. I can't move it any further forward really though, because the servo connections that sit here would then start to impact on the shocks. So that's where it's supposed to go. There is again, I'm not sure if you can pick it up, but this black panel that the bonnet screws onto also doubles up as the mounting point for that ESC. So they give you some Velcro, some sticky Velcro in the pack, and that's exactly what it's for mounting your electronics. They seem pretty secure, nothing's come loose yet. If you wanted to, and were happy that that positioning was going to stay, you absolutely could use double-sided tape in there, some 3M tape, and make that a permanent installation, no problem at all. And there we have it. I am going to now spend a little bit of time trying to figure out how to make these body panels look better. They did send me a load of stickers to go with it, and I've got lots of kind of little element stickers and all sorts of things from over the years, so we'll see what we can come up with in terms of a bit of a paint scheme, and then we'll take it over to my little indoor crawler course that I built last year, and we'll give it a try and see if it's very good. Early indications show that it probably is pretty capable. I'm looking forward to spending a bit of time playing with this. I have some, like I say, some new shocks on the way. I've got 2 sets of shocks coming. I have some 39mm oil-filled shocks and some 32mm standard size shocks to see which ones are the best. Might not be a fair fight, but we'll see. So look out for a video coming soon for that. I think that's probably enough for this video for today. Thanks for coming back after all this time. I do appreciate it. I appreciate that there has been a big break between this video and my last one, and apologies for that, and thank you for those of you that are still around and still subscribed. Thanks for sticking with us. Hopefully we can get a few more videos out over the winter period where things are a bit quieter, and then we can get out and do some crawling in the spring. As always, if you found the video helpful, or if you have any comments, tips, tricks, suggestions, anything like that, please pop them in the comments below. I do try and respond to all of the comments that we get and all the questions that are asked, so please don't hesitate to pop something in there. And in the meantime, we will wait for the postman to arrive with some new shocks. See you on the next one.